Hi there, this is John Hyman from Commercial Real Estate Online. This is another video for my friends in commercial real estate brokerage around the world. And if you haven't checked out our website, you can do so at commercial-realestate-training.com. In this video, I want to talk about listing strategies for brokers and agents to win more listings, to do so accurately and in a timely way. Think about this. Are you the expert? Will people regard you as the expert in the location? Are you comprehensively marketing yourself in that particular brand so that people remember you when they get to the property challenge, the property issue, be it in sales or leasing activity? They need to remember you, so make sure you are marketing yourself as the expert that you want to be in the location. So, whilst this may sound logical, the fact of the matter is that every property is unique, every situation is unique and different, and therefore can present certain challenges to the client, and you can help with that. You are the expert. You are the person to handle all the facts and the information of the property, the location, and the market at this time. So, remember to market yourself as the expert and show the client or the prospect why that is the case. So let's go further into a checklist approach for listing accurately and in a timely way in today's property market. So the first situation here is to know the property, the legal description for the asset. It'll always be important as the first factor to look at and understand. And of course, make sure that you're dealing with the actual owners of the property, all the parties, all the stakeholders, the people that actually have the property ownership structure. Pay special attention to the factors that may restrict the method of sale or method of marketing. Of course, understanding the ownership will help you with that to actually get the facts under control from the very beginning. So let's go to item 2, and that is who owns it. As mentioned in the previous slide, you need to know the correct property ownership detail. You'll need that for the listing form, and of course you should be listing the property accurately and correctly for your location, your state, your country. Know that you are dealing with the true property owners, and they are all in agreement as to what's happening with their property and your requested activity. So, the property owners should be in agreement with the method of sale and the method of marketing, and that's your job. You need to make sure you are conveying that information to them in a timely and accurate way. Show them what's happening, give them a marketing campaign, something that's timed and also not generic. Resolve any issues when they arise in the listing process, as you want to get the marketing and the sale to proceed effectively and directly. The only time to get things sorted is at the listing process. Ask the questions, document the answers, understand what the client's saying to you. And if in any doubt, ask more questions. So this is all about the title details. That's understanding what the title contains, be that encumbrances, restrictions, rights of way, liens, interests, and other factors of impact on the ownership of the property, or the title. Always question the title before you go to the documentary phase. It is your job to get all of the facts under control. In saying that, if you can find any natures of concern or question that impose a restriction or a liability on the property owners, then search out the document and the particular situation. Understand things before you go too far. So number 4 is property use. That is the zoning and the planning regulations, the building compliance, all those things that impact the property. The use and the occupancy. Take a look at the local planning regulations as part of the marketing of any property for sale or lease. Understand what you're dealing with. Certainly make sure that the property clearly complies with the legal use and the property zoning. If in any doubt, ask questions and even get legal people involved if you think something is strange or different. Number 5. Number 5 is all about location and access, and that will include transport, freeways, services, amenities and access to the property. Anything that will impact your property and the way in which people will reach it. There will be questions of buyers or tenants, depending on whether it's a sale or a lease situation, so make sure you understand the location and the access issues. Take a look around the local property, the area, the neighbouring properties, so you can observe just how a buyer or a tenant may see the zone or the precinct, and of course the asset itself. Can tenants or buyers occupy or use the property with convenience and comfort. Make sure you have the answer sorted before you go to market. Number 6 is all about the property details. That's the improvements in the property. Perhaps the size of the floor plates, the complexity of the property, the number of tenants, improvements in the asset. Of course, everything will vary from office to industrial to retail property. And the most complex of all would be a retail property with many tenants, a large shopping centre. So you should have listing forms for each property type to help you capture and question the issues at play. You should have listing forms for situations of sale versus lease, given that the property marketing processes are different, and indeed the questions you get from buyers or tenants in each case, retail, office or industrial, will be special and unique. Number 7. So what are the local listings in the area? Comparable properties in that local area will have an impact on your property listing when it goes to market. So understand what you're up against, the other comparable properties. Where are they? What are they? The size, the rent, the price, all of that. You need to investigate before you take your listing to the market. And of course, tell the client, the owner of your property, what's going on from a comparable perspective. Ensure that you know the local area and the other properties so that any marketing or price conflict can be handled, addressed or adjusted for. Now, some of those properties will have been based on market and will have been marketed for some time. So understand what's going on. If there's a stale listing out there, determine why it's stale so that you can not repeat that problem process with your listing. Get around the stale listing problems and the frustrations of the market in your location, be it in sales or leasing. So number 8 is determine your markets. That is target marketing. It's part of any property listing today. Determine what the target market of buyers or tenants may be looking for with the property type and also the property location. This will help your marketing choices. So understand your target market of buyers or tenants. Understand what they're looking for. Understand the strengths of your property and its location. Of course, if there are any weaknesses, you'll need to work that out as well. It should be said that the correct marketing effort should always be structured for the property and the location, with elements of market pressure fully understood and adjusted for. So that's your job. Number 9. That is the cash flow, the income stream for the property. It could be income and expenditure. Now, if you're dealing with an investment property, these questions will be large and complex. And of course, you should understand the property coming to you today from an income and an expenditure perspective. There'll be plenty of leases to analyse, rents, arrears, vacancy factors, and the expenditure will overlay that as well to give a net income stream for the asset. So if indeed it is an investment property, look at the income, look at the expenditure, and look at the net income stream over time. Go back in history, see how things have changed over the last few years. And then, of course, look at the budget for the property in today's terms. Get to understand what's going on today with that asset, with its challenges, its strengths, and its weaknesses. So if the property is to be sold as an investment, the factors that I've mentioned are really central to the price and the marketing. And that's your job to sort out before you take the campaign to the buyers, the investors that are out there. And the income and expenditure should be tuned for the best result at sale. So if there are any weaknesses like arrears, etc., or expenditure that's unusual, get to understand those things and sort them out as best possible before you go to the market and market the particular property. Item number 10 is all about the best strategies. The right method of sale or lease should be chosen based on the property and the location. You will know what's going on locally, the inquiry that's coming to you from a tenancy or a buyer perspective. You can then adjust your best marketing strategies accordingly. Local property trends, the industry trends, will have some rules and benchmarks for you to work to as well. Of course, you'll have some marketing strategies that work specifically for property types and the elements of the prevailing market conditions. So sort all that out, understand what works, and then repeat it where necessary with the right property listings. Show the client that you fully understand the best methods of marketing today for their property listing. Give them examples. Make sure they can see why you are making your recommendations. And above all else, don't be generic. Number 11. As I said earlier, the best marketing. Local property inquiry today will come from one or more of the specific marketing efforts that you create and entertain. Understand what works in property marketing for the property type and do more of it. And don't waste your time on a generic marketing method of sale. Be specific in every way. That's how you get results. One overlaying factor here is the difference between open listings and exclusive listings. A specialist driven campaign of marketing should apply to every exclusive listing. Spend more time on those listings. If you decide to take on an open listing, well, that's fine, but make sure that you don't spend too much time on an open listing. You cannot control the stock, the inquiry, or the client. So let's go to point number 12. Investment details. That is the tenant and the lease details. They'll be relevant in the sale of an investment property, so it's your job to check out all of the leases thoroughly before you take the property to the market today. And you may need to fix some issues with leases or vacancies before the property is taken to the market. So that's an investment property. If the property is, however, vacant and you're going to sell it to an owner-occupier, well, the situation is different and more orientated towards building compliance, location, and functionality. So the summary of all this relates to how you should list a property and how you should check everything today. Attention to detail in the listing process is really important in this sometimes tougher property market or unique property market, and you'll understand what's going on in your location, in your town or city. Preparation and questioning are the keys that will help you with your marketing efforts and to help you get results sooner rather than later. So that is the program for today. And if you have any questions or want to get more information about commercial real estate brokerage and the way in which you can sell or lease assets today, visit the website, which is commercial-realestate-training.com. My name is John Hyman. Thanks for listening to the program. I'll catch you again very soon online.